Previously on Test C Teams.
You can either come with me, or I can kill you where you stand. Who didn't know about this? Rosie, did you know about this?
I didn't know about this, but nothing surprises me anymore.
I tried to tell you, but I didn't. Horde's person Cthulhu Draub, Prince Donaar Blitzen is rash, petulant, and arrogant. At Acquisitions Incorporated, we have available several decisionists of erudition and even temper. Consider Jorman Gode, Ranger of the Spine, who sought his lost Horde's person for 2 weeks while haunted by dark dreams. Do you request another decisionist?
Omin! Omin Dran.
Walnut on grass.
Okay.
Documancer, rank 2,
Yes, that's me.
if I recall.
That's my name that you said.
I did sign it.
You did sign it. I have that laminated in my room.
Prophet says, don't you leave. Don't you leave before saying goodbye. And have dark magic fix my door. And Omin says, I'll be back. I'll be back sooner than you think. You'll see. And a portal opens up below the two of them, and they drop through, and it seizes back up.
Donaar goes, oh, Omin!
Time is the enemy, the past, it threatens the fastest weapon. You wouldn't make it past a second, and that's the question. Play it brash and reckless, or choose a cautious solution you thought was prudent. In any sepulcher, pulchritude will become the putrid. It's that wealth that I'm pursuing. No mountain too steep or dungeon too deep to send expendable marks up to the top of the peak or beneath. They see you bleed, they come like sharks to it, while I swim in that money bin like Carl Barks drew it. So send your national parks druid, I'll send him home in a natural box with a closed top and most of the parts included. Save your breath for a cleric confessor. Death is a lesson and life is a tenured professor. But if you're seeking my official advice, sign on the dotted line, initial it twice.
Hello.
Mumblecore. Move away.
Okay, so it's good to know.
Ryan did.
It's good to know that even in Ryan's absence, which is to say the absence of Donaar Blitzen, we still have a person in this chair who is willing to project themselves into the shared space.
I loved it.
I am Tycho Brahe of Penny Arcade and PAX. I am also Ominifus Hereward Dran, CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated. But today, I'm Jerry Holkins, and I'm going to run a game of Dungeons and Dragons for my friends, even new friends, including the creature to my right, Jared Knabenbauer.
Yes!
That you may know better as Dieth from the Waffle Crew. That's right, the Waffle Crew, everybody.
Hey,
What do you got? You got like a this makes a waffle?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Waff.
You guys just came up with a new thing.
Well,
we
yeah.
have a waffle clap.
Hashtag
The
waffle.
waffle clap.
Waffle clap. Hey.
Listen, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Now, to the right of my right, repping the natural world, Walnut on grass.
Kakra. And that's what I have for you. Chris does it way more like sumptuously.
I'm like a bird.
Right now, to my left, obviously, is the void. Obviously, it's something that we all have to face at some point.
Yeah.
Yikes.
At any point during the show, feel free to gaze in this direction and see the mechanisms that will result in your own death. To the left of my left, emerging as though from a mist shroud, Cthulhu Draub.
Oh, come on. One for you,
I
too.
can't even imagine what it must be like for you to see this. To see a person do this,
Surely
and then expect that there's going to be some kind of...
your program has its own inside material that we would be lost to be a part of. to see that.
Likely, yes, but we don't have bizarre rituals in which to engage ourselves into the show at the start.
I think the
Only fear.
No, I was going to say, I
terror.
think the only bizarre ritual on your show is the show itself.
Yes.
And it is primarily for the amusement of Chris Perkins.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of joy either. And then he invites me onto the show to torment you further.
You did, yeah. It was great.
Yeah, I mean that was a thing. There's issues of overlap between Dieth and Omin Dran. Who knows?
It'll be fun.
They may, some aspect of it may emerge this very evening.
Whoa.
The void.
I was just gonna say,
Power.
we doubled the budget for this one. So, listen, Gathered Throng, Waffle Crew, and of course, our friends from the Shadow Council, allied for just this one night. You should know that you can tip Dieth. During this, you can see he's integrated right there into the iconography, deeply integrated into the show. And all bits that go to #guest go to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So we're operating our program, but there is a charitable payload affixed to the entire process. I know. This is an incredible new technology, and obviously we thank Dieth for being here with us.
Please use your gold pieces wherein Dieth has none.
Yeah, exactly. Like he can't contribute to his own fun.
Yeah.
Like that's the darkness, that's the blight that Dungeon Master Chris Perkins has established. Because I went over there onto their show thinking I might be able to come back with some money, come back with some cash. Like that's what Dungeons and Dragons is about. It's about bags of money. That's the core assertion.
Haven't played that version.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you guys need equipment. You need money. Like none of it's happening over there. Listen, anytime you want to, I understand you're local. We have you integrated into the thing.
Yeah.
You come over here anytime. You want to get some money. You want to get some level appropriate
It's like
fucking
a stepdad
equipment.
thing. It's like, you can have fun at my house.
Yeah,
You go back to your dumb place.
No, exactly. Like, and
I sure do look forward to weekends.
well, I was just gonna say, and every night, stovetop stuffing. Yeah.
What? God, this is my favorite.
Stovetop stuffing. Gathered Throng. When last we saw our heroes, they had returned to Red Larch, right there, nestled in the center of the Desserin Valley. You may recall that Acquisitions Incorporated, the CTEAM, has an exclusive license to this treasured tract of land. But our scene actually begins elsewhere. Indeed, it begins with our new friend, Dieth, who has sought out the services of a fortune teller of perhaps questionable repute, but incredibly low rates, huge savings opportunities there.
Great.
For you. And you have done so because you have reached something of a desperate state about the location of 2 rings.
Yes.
Would you like to tell the Gathered Throng, of course, your own cadre may know well about them. In our campaign, these rings are simply 2 rings of protection.
Yes.
So unburden yourself, Dieth. Please tell us about your desire for these rings and what is it that makes them so potent.
Whereas you would see 2 rings of protection of standard magical fare, these rings are actually infused with the spirit of longtime companion of Dieth Woodrow, Evelyn Marthane. Beautiful shining light of Lathander, paladin of all things good, who has given her life repeatedly so that others may live, including, as far as Dieth can tell, giving up her own life and through that somehow lifting the death curse off of all of the Forgotten Realms.
Okay, no, it was more complicated than that, but yes.
Omin helped.
So this is why you have sought them out.
Yeah.
And they have been gone since when? Like what? How did they get lost?
Now, through a wonderful summoning into which Omin Dran arrived to Dieth's party whilst Evelyn was slain, he offered his services graciously to raise her back from the dead, and he did. And in doing so, Dieth and his companions offered these 2 magical rings that he had that had Evelyn's spirit within them, hoping that this would somehow assist him in some way, or perhaps the spirits from the rings themselves can return to her body. And it was a success. Evelyn, who had perished once before and woke up in a construct body, then died as a construct, reawoken in her human form, as whole as she has ever been. And then Omin left his services completed with the rings.
Like accident or like?
Oh, it's
Just like, whoop.
there's no accident.
Now, Dieth,
Yes.
I should warn you that occasionally I do take the sort of dark turns your master, Chris Perkins, is wont to do. In this scenario, the incredible savings that you're hoping to derive from this wise woman,
Yes.
they come at the cost of some discomfort. She plies her trade beneath a barnacle-encrusted dock in the waterfront, and she is known to those who have this need. And as I suggested, her rates are reasonable, but it does require a bit of light parkour to access her domain.
Should be a problem for me.
And exactly, and so I would love to have some acrobatics.
You got it. One of the few things I actually excel in. So much.
Good Lord!
That is a 33.
Is it a blonde?
No, it's not a blonde.
I just saw a mess of digits on there. I assumed it was like a.
All right, hundreds
47.
of years.
No one's around to see it, but it was very impressive.
Oh, that's where you're wrong.
Oh.
Hundreds of years prior to the founding of Cirque du Soleil, the flame is lit. The flame is lit here in this unassuming, water-deep dock. You enmesh yourself with the jagged wood at barnacles and rot, and find your way immediately, presently, beneath the dock that you had heard about.
Yeah.
And far back among the pilings, you can see smooth, ocean smooth rocks on your way up. And she is plying her trade back there. She has seen the entire thing, and she offers up a soft clap that echoes against the stone floor. You can see that her operation consists primarily of her addled mind, a worn sea chest coated with the wax of many candles on top.
With the gentle clap, Dieth, rather than giving any kind of recognition of it, just slowly steps forward, and based on the applause alone, just says, "I can only assume you already know why I'm here."
She smiles, revealing a single black tooth, and she says, "It's in my line of work."
Wonderful. Then we can make this transaction quick.
Oh, I should hope so. She says, "Hold out your hands."
Dieth will hold out one of his gloved hands.
Yeah, she's, no, the palm, boy, the palm.
Almost hesitantly, Dieth will then kind of retract a hand, slowly hold a glove up, and pull up a sleeve of his blue tunic, and then hold that out.
She reaches out with the the sort of ravenous rodent madness of a squirrel. It grabs on both sides and begins to consume whatever information you can see. You see some lines. You see, aspects of your life that get recorded in the flesh. She is seeing something entirely else. She nods a couple times.
Beyond this burn scars and other slashes along the arm.
She is absorbing another type of information. And she says, "What question have you for me?"
I only seek the location.
Oh, dude, I'm okay with the dark lights. That's fine.
You get spooky a little bit?
Let's manifest excellence here beneath this dock. Right.
like a bunch of teenage girls who got their first Ouija board.
Yeah,
Here we go.
exactly. No, I mean, let's
Yeah.
do this shit fucking right.
Dieth will say, I only seek the location of 2 magical rings, still containing the remaining pieces of Evelyn, Helvig, Avalona, Marthane. Holy Paladin of the Thander, and my dear friend.
She's you can see her like mouthing, trying to mouth Evelyn's whole name. Is it Evelyn
Helvig, Avalona, Marthane. It's Evelyn.
Avalone?
Avalone. Avalone.
Martheg?
Marthane it's a hard N at the end.
And
It's a noble family nearby here. Maybe you've heard of them.
Narthane.
Marthane. Marthane.
Marthane.
Marthane. Yes.
Marthing?
Not quite. Close. Thane.
Oh.
Like a servant of some sort, but Marthane.
Oh.
Just Evelyn. Evelyn's fine. I don't think anyone else is called Evelyn. Just Evelyn. I'm trying to find the soul of
All right,
Evelyn.
okay,
Sorry.
all right.
Sorry.
Okay. She opens up her chest, rummages around. The candles that are on the top don't move at all as the lid is lifted out. Now they're just sort of pointing like they're just in your space.
Are they lit?
No.
Oh, okay.
Now they're just in your space.
Okay.
It's just okay. All right, I guess that's how it is. And she's rummaging around. You can hear like the squeak of metal on glass. And she closes it again. She is holding in her hand a sort of violet orb that she is gazing into. Ethel.
Evelyn.
Yes, I knew deep within this was a test.
Yes.
For you, young man. Now, what I want you to do is picture the rings. Picture them in your mind.
Dieth closes his eyes and does so.
She says, not the tiefling boy. I don't want to know who
Girl.
the ring
That's a girl.
belongs to you.
All right.
I want you to picture the ring itself, the which is of no concern at this juncture.
Dieth closes his eyes and focuses deeply on the
Really
memory
try. Just move. Think about the hand. Think specifically about the hand, where the ring would be. Not the wand, not the rod, not the broom. We'll talk about the broom later.
Dieth focuses hard and recalls the specific memory of the ring itself, holding Evelyn's hand as her being vanishes and her spirit traveled up his finger and into the ring.
Yeah, her neck becomes tall as her head begins to tilt back. Imagine a dark Pez dispenser. And she says, yes. Red Larch.
Red Larch.
These rings are in Red Larch.
To the north of here.
Have you ever been?
I've never been.
Terrible.
I believe it.
Terrible.
How far away is that from here?
Too long.
I agree.
She says it's on the long road. It shouldn't be hard to find passage there. If you want to go. I mean, it seems like you really want the rings.
Yeah, it's not the destination that concerns me. Is there anything else I need to know before I set out?
She says, well, other than the fact that I'm not going to charge for this, I think you may need it more than me. And you're talking to a woman who lives and operates with the tides below a jagged, largely collapsing dock.
Says a lot about Dieth right now.
She says, if you should return to town with a spare coin, I wouldn't turn it down, but I would start thinking about saving for retirement.
Dieth will give her just a silent nod of agreement and then stroll away his way out. Is it the same exit?
Yeah,
and entrance?
absolutely.
Okay,
here, let's do it.
Okay.
Ah,
32.
32.
God.
This never happens on my show.
Absolutely. So you slip through the slats of this decaying structure. I mean, like a gum wrapper being blown by the wind. You basically just walk up and go,
Yeah. As fragile as one, too.
yeah, exactly. And then you're out on the other side.
All right.
You know that she is not wrong. The long road that leads out of the north, it goes all the way north through Red Larch, Westbridge, Tribor. I mean, people go that far north so that they can go west and go to Neverwinter.
Right.
No one stays in these places. They're not places one stays in.
They're passovers at best. Yeah.
At best. Yeah, they're drive-throughs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like you would stop to get a hamburger
Yeah.
and that's it.
We're just getting some food, moving on, kind of thing. All right.
Exactly. And it is at this northern gate that you can see several parties with explicit signs out that say things like help wanted, going to this particular town, security needs, contact, things like that. You can see a row of 3 relatively nice wagons, upper tier wagons, brass fittings, rich oiled woods, hail stock out front to pull. And there's a sign that says security for Red Larch.
Great. Dieth will go up and just examine them all. Just pick the one that looks the most secure, or possibly the most prepared one to set out as soon as possible.
Yeah. It looks like they're getting fit to leave pretty quick, and they've taken on most of what they're going to take on. You can see even inside the windows of some of these carts, you can get a sense of what they're planning to do, and you can see one of them is full of like pieces of a stove, like a dismantled cook stove in multiple pieces, laid out, oriented inside there. And you approach a man sitting in a chair by the sign, and he says, "Name?"
Dieth.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, Hachu. He says, "We're heading to Red Larch. You know that, right? It's like we're not going to pay you to come back. We're going to go there and stay there."
Though I'm aware, I just looking to help get you there. I have my own purposes too.
All right. He says, "Can you?" He is trying to identify weapons on your person.
Yes. As he looked Dieth over, he sees that he has looks like a normal short sword upon one side. At the front, a sheathed dagger that looks mostly inconspicuous. And as Dieth notices, as he's kind of being looked over, Dieth will pull out another short sword that's very ornate looking, has a handle of a fox head biting onto a red jewel, a keyhole on the pommel with bat wings kind of coming out of that, and a dark, almost ominous-looking short sword blade. Probably impressive looking to most commoners, and just holds that out and just says, "I can handle anything."
Yeah. When this thing comes out, it's like you're sort of like building up faction with this person.
Yeah.
Each time you reveal a new piece of sharp metal, and then as soon as that happens, it's like the lights of Las Vegas erupt in his eyes. He clucks a couple times and says, "All right, Dieth, you'll do. Second wagon."
You got it.
All right. You can see that there's a couple people who have already taken up place on top of these wagons. Some are riding inside. There doesn't appear to be a rule about how you get this passage.
Okay. Great. Yeah. I'll probably find a position, probably somewhere within the wagon itself, if possible, or if they want me on hand outside, I can do that too.
That's a classic.
Okay.
That's a classic scenario.
Gotcha.
We will pop back to Dieth's northern journey. It's like the Incredible Journey, I'm going to start incorporating just to help you relax, ease down, so that you know you're among friends and not your own nefarious dungeon master.
Right.
It's going to be a very much incredible journey. There's going to be cats.
Okay.
There's going to be dogs.
It's going to be so wonderful and pleasant. I'm going to be so uncomfortable.
You won't know.
I will hate it.
You'll never know.
What is this? This doesn't make any sense.
You'll never know when the bad stuff is about to happen. Cathris Draub. It seems to me, and you tell me if this is true, because I can't say for you necessarily, but you have indicated to me that Cathris Draub spends a lot of time in this dagger.
Oh, yeah.
So you should know.
I love my dad. I love my knife.
Yeah, the dagger.
Yeah.
So you should know Gathered Throng, and of course for your use as well, Diaz.
Sure.
Not long ago, Cathris Draub, Underdark Exile, came into the possession of a dagger that, when placed in or near the forehead or eye, does not damage the user, but instead takes them to a pocket dimension inside the knife itself. This is a place of research that had once been owned by his own father. So it exists as a kind of study and eldritch workspace.
And a spa.
And day spa.
Well, this sounds pleasant.
Hot stone.
And your dad did this for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, it was for him, but I got it
Oh, yeah.
when he was
Okay.
destroyed.
All right.
Reflexology. So tell me what it is you are researching in there so that I can help you discover these items.
A little bit distressed that apparently when Rosie was in here,
She did some cleaning.
and now some of my research piles have been migrated back onto shelves for some reason. But I know that her interest is astronomy, and I am, rather than trying to figure out where this god with the unity symbol matches my unknown
Right.
patron, I am looking into the connection between the sanguilith and the consumption of other gods, and whether or not this could affect constellations. Because we had talked about whether or not this is a thing that anybody was aware of.
A type of organism.
Right.
Right. Is it a recognized phenomenon?
Right.
So you should know also, Diaz, just for your own use.
Yeah.
This actually might be more for Jared.
Sure.
The CTEAM, the warlock of the CTEAM, without his own knowledge, has the pact that he has is not 100% like the pact that exists in the book proper. He
Okay.
doesn't have any memory of making this pact, and the entity that he serves is a kind of deophage, right? It's a kind of, it's almost like a crystalline virus or bacteria that consumes divinity and then reflects the power of those divinities to its servants.
Neat.
Yeah, so I'm just saying,
Yeah, okay.
when he says that he's trying to figure out those connections,
Okay.
that is what he's doing. I want to be a good host. I want to make sure that you know.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, it's my pleasure. I just want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on. So you do find something novel and adjacent. You're wondering about the sanguilith in general and the process by which it consumes. And you find something that is like almost like a corollary to it. And it is a book full of notes from your father. And it specifically talks about divinity as a set of laws similar to physical law or magical law. That it's not beyond these things. It's simply another system for governing energy and matter.
Right.
It's just jealously guarded. And of course, to their believers, judiciously distributed and applied. but it describes a process, something like a divine vacuum. Not a vacuum like the appliance,
Right.
but the idea that it is possible to create a divine vacuum into which a specific god may be drawn inexorably.
That's high value for Cthulhu.
Exactly. So it would require additional research to investigate and to master, but it describes a process, the reason that he was able to discover this. And so you know that his library is full of strange books, deeply strange books, some of which don't appear to be from this place at all. Some of which appear to be, for example, the book that Kate, or the book that Rosie discovered, details with a high level of accuracy the stars that you know from a radically different point of perception, right? And the reason he was able to put these things together is because he had acquired a book of Vistani wisdom. Vistani appear to be a traveling people with a very jealously guarded mystery and power and techniques, but they have the Vistani marriage ceremony has a spiritual. It's a ceremony that combines all three of these metaphysical laws. So there is a physical portion of the ceremony, a magical portion of the ceremony, and a divine portion of the ceremony. And that's what enables its incredible, the type of union it allows is incredible. And because it operates on every one of these planes, you wonder if there might be an application of this.
I see. God, Cthulhu would say that, how did they blunder into this? They're going to use this like axis of reality to tether a finite union to like two small things that die after a couple of decades. Who cares?
It's true.
But they're lost my game. Yum.
Would it be possible for me to get a perception roll from you?
For sure.
You want to goose it?
Oh, nah, let's just use it as is. What is that going to be? What's my perception? I never use it. It's going to be a 16 total.
Okay. You are looking through this book and these diagrams, and basically imagine it's taken like the circle. The circle itself as an icon is already profound.
Oh yeah.
But this is a diagram that shows it expanded out into sort of like a 4-dimensional structure, and it is detailing the mystical bonds that this ritual, which functionally speaking looks like a marriage, but is actually a profound metaphysical ritual. And as you use your hand to pass the page over, you can see on your ring finger a ring that looks almost identical to the ring in the diagram.
I see. Now, I know that there's something beyond just +1 AC to this.
Yeah. It's again, the mind reels. There is something incredible at play here. It's bizarre that you should have it.
And let's see, and Cthulhu remembers that he received this, was it via the Hordes person?
Via the Hordes person satchel, exactly.
And what was the reason given to protect the party?
Just gifts.
Gifts are like to use us as a vault to be broken into by some other figure. Okay, then how would Cthulhu parse this?
There is a lot to parse, and I'm happy to move over to Walnut.
Yeah.
If you want to figure it out, we can come back to you.
I think he would just think this is a wonderful mistake and continue down this path.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you want to seek out more books? Do you want to continue your research?
Yeah, I'll see how much more.
The search.
Let's see how much more Vistani stuff I can find out.
Go ahead and give me perception.
Sure. Maybe I'll goose this one.
Okay.
Ooh, she's gonna be off
you
the table.
Are you all right?
Too excited about this
everything
ring.
okay?
So that was an 18, and this is gonna be a 15. Okay.
18. Perfect. I can work with that. Walnut Dongrass. Tell me about your morning here at the Drawn Courtier.
So Walnut, having just met her hero, is
The incredibly special, incredibly powerful Omin Dran.
okay.
It's handsome. Back and the front. I liked it.
Handsome
Oh,
back
come on,
and
guys.
front.
Come on.
It's not cool. Okay, it's not cool.
So, since she got the news that Brahma had perished in Scala, you know, she
Girlfriend.
girlfriend should be sad. She should be more sad than she is. And she feels that. She feels that
the
somewhere.
guilt?
She feels it somewhere in her, but it just won't come out. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
So she is in. We'll say in the common area between the rooms. You know, thinking about everything that's happened in the past 24 hours. So that being, you know, handing off Oak and finishing her paperwork, always a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a really big part of this show. Bureaucracy is a surprisingly big part of this show. This is
It's a
meant,
kind of magic.
Yeah.
This is meant to say
On brand Acq Inc, yeah.
this is meant to say that maybe you wouldn't have as much fun here. It's like your choice is the Iron Maiden or a lot of homework. I
Oh,
guess
okay,
is
got
the,
it.
the
Right.
two the double breakdown.
No. So yes, she'll just be kind of ruminating on both her guilt about Brahma, but then also meeting Omin, and then also all the things she didn't get to say to Omin that she, you know, had imagined their first meeting would be very special, and that there would be all these things that she
This
would
is a
get
common
to say.
problem.
Yeah,
I felt that same thing before, yeah.
and she got to say none of it, and she's just second guessing the impression that she made on him.
Gotcha. You hear a sound. It sounds like an ingot striking a wood floor from your room,
Oh,
and then you hear a door squeak open,
okay.
and it doesn't close.
Okay. I'm gonna go investigate my room.
You go to your room. Your satchel is like tipped over, and the top of the bag is open.
What the heck?
I don't know.
Who did this?
I don't know. Someone is going to have to explain this. And the door is open, and in fact, it is still opening a little bit. You have come in so quickly.
Yeah. So I want to see who goes there.
Okay. So you walk out to the landing and look down, and you can see Nalayan in her full raiment
Oh no.
as a grove keeper, which is a kind of like ancient druidic general, taking her steps, like very measured steps down the stairs, and just looking all around her in a kind of horror.
Oh no. Oh man, my ancient Tamagotchi has come home to roost.
As she reaches the bottom of the stairs, she looks over at the portrait over the fireplace and just shudders, and then looks back into the room and then looks down and sees Onyx and says, "Yield." And Onyx just looks up and she says, "Cat, you will yield." And Onyx is implacable.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, I run downstairs.
This is serious shit.
I am sprinting downstairs.
And she turns to Grovekeeper Nalayan turns to you, Walnut, and says, "Why did you not ask a tree to provide you a home?"
Walnut gets down the stairs super fast. She's huffing and puffing. She takes like a really hasty kneel.
Prophet says, "Walnut."
Walnut's just like stuck between these two very powerful women. And she
says, "Walnut, do I need this?"
Walnut
And
goes,
she's like tapping something behind the.
yeah. Walnut goes, no. I can handle this. And Walnut goes, Nalayan, these people, they know not what they do. They had clear cut the forest to build this town. And then she goes, a tragedy.
Well, wait, she says, "They named this town after the trees they cut down?"
Disgusting.
This is genocide.
It is.
Yeah.
But
A little bit.
the forest grows again.
She closes her eyes and synchronizes herself with some mesh of energy you can only begin to guess at. And she says, "There's a Nemazir here."
Ooh.
There's a Nemazir here?
Yeah, she says, "To the north and west."
Oh, yes, there is. I awoke in it and used it to trap the wandering crypt. She's worried that she's going to like have to answer for some terrible injustice. She's very hesitant.
Was it your Nemazir?
Yeah.
And she says, "I think I may be more at home in that place."
Wonderful. Let me take you there.
She says, "I know where it is."
And, well, looks at Prophet real quick and like
And
looks around.
Prophet's like, you can hear the metal head of the hammer like click over once, as she's sort of like resting her weight on the handle of her maul. And
Okay.
so the Grovekeeper nods. So the Grovekeeper is walking out by the door and looks over at Prophet just assessingly. And goes,
Wow.
Ooh.
and
All right.
the door opens without any contact of any kind. And Nalayan finds her way out. And you can hear her just shouting at carts and squirrels. She is like full on like prepper, like crazy uncle.
Yeah.
Like none of this, like the whole modern world is just, there's a solution for it and she knows what it is.
So Walnut is extremely anxious. She'll get up off her knee and
Get Prophet's friend of yours?
one day, maybe. And Walnut just knows that like there's nothing that she could have done to stop her. So like, what's the point in even being worried?
Prophet says, "Come here."
Okay. I go over.
And as you walk over, Onyx walks over just a little bit faster and jumps up on the counter. And Prophet, like football carries the cat up close like this, just gives her a few pets. He says, "What did she say to you? What did she say to you?" Big scratches up and down. Gives her a kiss on there. Lays it right on the counter.
Yeah. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
Cat goes where it pleases.
Yeah, exactly. It's her own. This cat is her own. But the preparations are still running apace.
Oh, I see.
Back here, batter's being made. There's still a small pot of jam still going back there that gets the occasional idle stir
Right.
from Prophet. How do you want to invest your morning down here?
So there's no mail in the mailbox?
Not currently.
Wow. Then just Walnut would not know what to do with herself. It'd
be awful. It would
now
be
she
so
is
awful.
left with her thoughts, and that is
Exactly.
truly the worst prison you can be in. So I think that is it. That she would just be hemming and hawing, pacing around downstairs, trying to figure out what she wants to do, and just trying to do everything possible to not be thinking.
Absolutely. Dieth Woodrow,
Yes.
back at it.
All right.
So you are trundling north. It's a few days journey. Seems to be mostly you definitely pass traffic on this road.
Okay.
It's the road that you use to go this way. So there's plenty of extra traffic. The second day in, I need a perception check from you. You're riding inside the guts of the.
All right. There are like windows and things.
Oh,
I can
absolutely,
peek outside.
absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Because every now and then there are showers,
Yeah.
like summer showers that make trying to ride on top of the cart unpleasant.
Yep.
But there are people for whom that sort of thing is fine.
Right. So perception, that is a 22.
Oh, that is. These are some skills.
What?
Okay, C-Team.
What?
These are some skills.
It's all out of combat skills. If we ever fight,
What level?
10.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, that sounds
I've
like your fault.
chosen my rogue expertise very carefully.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is straight murder. So you can hear as you're riding in, you're solo inside the cart,
Okay.
but you can hear steps up on the roof of it.
Of whatever other mercenaries.
Other mercenaries,
Yeah.
exactly. Plying their trade up there. Rough language, guttural laughs, the occasional slip and laugh. But you can hear something rattling inside these stove portions. Like inside these pieces of this dismantled stove, you get the sense that they are not empty, and that you can't place the sound, but you know you've heard it before.
I'm sure it's just something is loose in there or broken. They'll probably want to know about that, so I'll let them know and just try to open up and peek inside and figure out maybe like a bolt, maybe a chip of stone had fallen out, and they don't want their product to be damaged upon delivery.
Well,
so
no,
I want to help
exactly.
them
So
out.
what you're trying to tell me, Dieth Woodrow, is that
Yes.
you're a very judicious employee.
Right.
I'm liking this. I'm making note of this. This is great. There's a place for you in my organization. You're like, well, it's got to be something simple. I mean,
Yeah.
A stove is just an empty place where you burn things in.
Yes.
You swing open the belly of this stove, and it is loaded top to bottom with what look to be brand new daggers.
Just a ton of weapons.
Yeah. Inside this part of the stove, there's probably 60 daggers.
My God. It's probably all the daggers I've thrown over the years.
They
found them.
No, it's been theorized that there's a place where missed daggers arrive.
It's like this is your life. Like You get to reunite with each.
So,
You have to communicate with each dagger.
let me tell you what happened to me, Dia. So opening up this little stove and like peering inside and just seeing all the blades, almost instinctively, he kind of reels back and just looks behind him just to be like, is anyone else seeing this? And then realizing not, he'll gently reach in and just try to pick one out and just give it a quick examination to see if it's simple, mundane, pretty common.
This is right off the rack. It's pret-a-porter.
All right. He'll like reach behind and like pull one out of his throwing daggers and compare it to that to see if there's any similarities.
They're decent quality. There's nothing remarkable about them, but this is definitely a solid instrument.
Right. And based off the job that I had gotten off of this, I was under the understanding that I was just delivering stove equipment.
That's exactly what it That's exactly what it looks like. And until 5 minutes ago,
Yeah.
that's what you were doing.
Well then. Place the dagger back, close it up. And then I guess with that information, he'll begin to kind of recollect the past few days, especially with his client, I suppose. If there's anything noticeable about this individual, anything they said, what they looked like or wearing, if any of the other mercenaries seem to be aware of, conscious of.
Yeah, I mean, here's the main things that you can take away from it.
Okay.
Whenever you break down camp, we can just have one of the conversations that you had during that time if you'd like.
Sure.
You can just be playing it back over in your head, trying to assess it and trying to recalibrate based on this new data.
Yeah.
So you the person who owns this caravan is right there with everyone. This is a jovial but like wiry strength character, like probably not a stranger to combat, but you suspect that most of his battles he wins with dialogue trees.
Okay. Got it.
Right.
All right.
So it's possible he's built similar to you character-wise.
Sure.
You find out that his name is Galabrath Welver.
Galabrath. Okay.
And he is from Red Larch originally. He grew up there, got out as soon as he could. But Red Larch has earned kind of a name among the sort of the upper crust as being, it's almost like a gentrification thing.
Okay.
Like it's earned a place as being like the type of poor that you can go to and be a tourist. And they have something there. They have a festival there called Last Stones Day. And with all this increased interest like in his hometown that he was so happy to get away from, he thinks that he can come back and make a big splash. There's a few cultural practices that he thinks he can make a pretty penny on.
Gotcha. And as far as I can tell, Galabrath is what, like a chef or something, or just a mason who installs kitchen equipment?
He's an entrepreneur.
Got it.
Oh boy.
He's a male entrepreneur.
He's a chemisier.
Okay. Okay, so
Some of the people he's running with don't seem like chefs.
no. This is outside of the mercenaries he hired for protection. These are just other
Some of
dudes
his own
with
people
them.
don't seem like they would be. Don't seem like the culinary type.
What kind of read would I have on them? Are they clearly underlings, just going with them?
They're
or
absolutely
not partners?
they're
Okay.
underlings, but they are. They have a perpetual. They have shifty eye syndrome, or SES,
Yeah.
and they're constantly doing deep psychic boring on people staring at them.
Okay. All right. So Dia's in front of the stove, having all these things there. Not in a position to act or do much about it, but
Well, you want me to absolve you? You want me to say that you don't have to act just because you might be murdered by all these men? I can't do that.
I'm saying Diath internally says to himself.
This would be a great way to be liquefied.
All right, so he's aware of this, knows there's something shady going on there.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like the job.
Yeah, but this is not a problem that he himself can provide a solution to on his own.
I
at this
think
moment in time.
I think that's quite accurate.
Yeah. So he has a name, he has their destination, and based off remembering all of that, he generally knows what their goal is, and he can use that information for potentially righteous purposes upon arrival at Red Larch. But until then,
it's been codified.
Yeah, until then, he cannot cause trouble for his own passageway, for his own volition.
This is so refreshing. This is so refreshing. The person who usually sits in that chair would have created a 2-hour detour for me out of this exact same scenario.
Pull every thread. That's what we do.
It's early. Give me some time.
Yeah,
exactly.
We'll see.
So you take this opportunity, door closed. You have in your mind, you've collated all this information.
Yes.
Stored it correctly.
Dieth is a
for
studious
precise recall.
Yeah, Dieth is actually a studious note taker. He's done cartography in the past while in the jungles of Chult and the like. So
you got to there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he actually just jots notes down on quick parchment and stuffs it within his pouches or backpack or whatever, for his own purposes for recollection later.
But he has not written this down. It sounds like.
Has he?
After seeing after seeing all the daggers and stuff, I think he'll simply write down the information of the job itself.
There we go.
Galabrath, what he does, the Stone Festival, location.
Nice. So to operate from there.
Yeah.
So this, your cart rolls into town through the southern road, and you think that the wise woman might have been too cruel to this little town.
Oh.
This is not a.
Is it quaint?
It is quaint.
Okay.
It is quaint. It has the correct, wholesome amount of bustle.
Okay.
It has the amount of bustle one could find comfort in, and so all the carts sort of squeak to a stop, basically just past the first intersection in town. There are a couple thinnish blue buildings.
Okay.
That look like they might have been maybe a jail or something like that in a earlier, more like a wilder time in this town's history, but now appear to be they're being rejuvenated with new paint. Wood is being repaired where it needs to be repaired. Windows are being placed where before there might have been the occasional bar.
Right, the gentrification. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So this place is working up, and in fact, you can see the one on the left. They're building a kind of edifice, sort of against the facade of the building, and there's 2 stone columns that go up. Sort of on each side of the front. The main double doorway is right in the middle. And they are joining up at the top. And then there's a keystone right in the center of it that has a massive, chunk of red glass.
Huh. And I find this to be the most striking.
Well, in this town, it's a little, what's it called? It's a lot.
Okay, yeah. All right.
It's a lot.
All right, so we have arrived, though.
Absolutely. All the mercenaries are...
My job complete.
Exactly. The mercenaries are lining up. They're each getting their 5 gold.
Yeah. Great. 5 gold. Wow.
I was just going to say, I'm going to send you home with delights.
I'm just going to write that down.
I'm going to send you home with delights.
5 GB. Oh my God, yes.
King's ransom.
Exactly.
Dieth will collect his coin and, as he does, give one last look over and be like, collect information and details about everything about you. Oh, thank you.
It's like Terminator vision.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of data going this way.
Yeah. Just you're wearing this, you got that scar. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So immediately you're assessing the first thing that is noteworthy. Why don't you give me more of this perception, since You've done so well so far.
sure.
And we want to roll as many dice as possible because when we roll 20s, people get shit.
17.
TC 17 off of a 6. Delicious.
Make us better.
Yeah,
And then we can do that.
level up. So the main thing about it is that one of these two buildings here, is being clearly renovated and made to be a lot. And the other one is being repaired, but is not receiving anywhere near the same affection.
Okay.
So it's being made habitable and whole, but it doesn't appear to be a part of this operation here. But you can see workers who are working on one building traveling freely back and forth. It's clearly a part of the same project.
Yeah, so like the same company is working on both, probably.
It's clearly a part of the same project, the same work, but one of these is being taken to the next level, and one of these is simply being made so that it won't fall over the next time there's a storm.
Okay. So Dieth has arrived here, is aware of these buildings, and has essentially arrived with now 2 objectives. And he's going to give priority to his own vendettas. So mechanically speaking, I have the City Secrets background feature, and I also have Thieves' Cant. So talking to the locals and the like to collect whatever information I can to learn more about the buildings, perhaps visit the building myself and see what's in there, and then ask around and basically tell people he is seeking Omin Dran and is giving a description of him. Like, where is this person?
Oh, that's incredible. Seeking Omin Dran. Dude, I could not love you more. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the place you would go to ask. So you're fishing around for information about the buildings?
Yeah.
And for Omin Dran.
Yes.
So
because I was told last I knew he had the rings,
and
I was told at Red Larch.
Exactly.
Clearly, he's either here or been here.
Exactly.
Hopefully, still here within the day's travel.
Exactly. So you even just here on the main road, there's a variety of businesses and shops that do some trade here locally in the town, but a lot of the businesses like the wagon business that we saw over there.
Yeah.
I mean, these 3 wagons passed by a wagon business, and you saw
Okay.
And you saw a wave from Galabrath to someone in that first wagon shop.
All right.
And they're a place that apparently sells primarily provisions and things for the road.
Gotcha.
Either for longer trips or to ship to other places.
Okay.
And you go in and just like casually mention Omin Dran, and you see a smile across the woman's face. She's just finishing out a work order.
Yeah.
She's directing people in the back to take these barreled poultry and oil, and they're loading it onto carts out back. And she says, "I'd heard Omin was in town just a day or so ago. My guess is he's probably at his mom's place."
He has a mom?
He has 2 moms.
What womb would birth him?
Yeah, she said, yes, it's Prafa and Audra. He has 2 moms.
Dieth has never heard these names before in his entire life.
She says, "What do you want with Omin?"
Dieth hesitates for a moment and just says back, "Just seeking employment."
Oh, well, he's got that. That boy runs through him.
Oh, okay. Wow, I had no idea that the Dran residence was here in the Red Larch. That's incredible.
It's an inn. It's more of an inn.
Okay. Do they run it or just
the
live
Drans?
there?
Oh, yes. It's the Dran and Courtier.
Of course they run it. That makes sense.
It's not far from here.
Oh, excellent.
She says, just head down the long road, take a left at that intersection down there. Right around the corner, you're going to see it on your left.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm really excited. I appreciate that. Dieth turns and like takes a single step before pausing and turning back, and then
Then she looks back up.
and then brings up. I was on my way in. I just saw this really fascinating building that looks ornate. It's impressive. Do you know what that's about?
Her face crinkles up. She says, "Yes, the Welver boy is back in town, and he has gotten big city airs, and he's trying to bring big city horse shit to Red Larch."
Oh, beat around the bush.
That is awful. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, thank you. I'll be on my way. And as Dieth turns, and now with like a determined, almost stomping walk as he makes his way towards the drawn in.
Absolutely. Walking on your way back, it is precisely as she has described it. Left at the first intersection, just a little bit around the curve, you find it. There's a long alley that you pass on the left, and you can see sort of a rustle there in a wooden box, like a waste box, and you see the lid open tentatively, and inside you see a squirrel leap out, much as you did in that Cirque du Soleil way.
Okay.
For them, this is a perfectly natural habit. Lifts up just like right out of the hole, like a ribbon, like a pinnacle.
Yeah.
Just slurps out of this thin space, and you can see it jumping away. And in its hand, it's carrying something that looks like a fork.
The squirrel is carrying a fork.
The squirrel is carrying a fork. And so as it pops away, it's like tink, 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 tink. And it takes a quick curve and darts to the right behind the building.
Dieth, seeing all of this, just says, "Oh, that's adorable."
Yeah, no, that's what we have. As you get to the front entrance, it's about midday. It looks like it might be a situation where another one of these customary summer showers is promising itself, and as you were thinking that, it makes good.
Gotcha.
So you can see the wind pick up a little bit while you're looking into the warm and welcoming front window. Out front, you see a sign swinging on a chain that says "The Drawn and Courtier," and then just below it, the hated symbol of Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah.
In a small sub-sign that swings according to its own chain.
Yes. Dieth standing before that, ominous weather kind of picking up as he's doing this, just clenched fist, give himself a quick, reassuring deep breath. It's like, "You can do this." And then walks forward and like door open.
Just fucking destroy every.
Throwing matches left and right.
Yeah, exactly. You swing in, and there's no one at this juncture. One would expect a peal of horns. Like you feel like the universe is not backing your play here. As you enter a place of warmth and affection. It's literally the material opposite of Omin.
Okay.
So you wonder if he's like the black sheep of the family or
okay.
something. You can looking over to your right, you can see what looks like it's like a small raised area. It could be a stage. Next to that is a warm a fireplace. Not much need for it right now in summer. And then near above the fireplace, near to it, is what looks like a painting of 3 children there. There are a mess of tables spread out in the center of the room. To the left, there is a bar and a woman who looks like a statue come to life just very strong features, and there is something in her countenance that reminds you of Omin Dran.
So she's very chiseled looking.
Yes. Similar hairdo.
Okay.
Also.
All right. So she is is she adorned with equipment at all, or just looks like
She is. She actually looks like, for someone who is operating an inn, she looks like she is ready to lead a battalion.
Great. Okay. And she's the only person present at the moment.
Yeah, exactly right. Right now, it seems like this must not be their a big time for them.
Okay.
She says, "You're soaking wet, boy."
Yeah, I just arrived in town, and the weather had just taken a turn for the worse, I'm afraid. That's why I came here. I'm seeking shelter.
Yeah, she says, "Welcome to Wet Larch. Listen."
Yes, she, a polite path.
she pours you a little tea, and then just sets it up on the bar. And she sees. I assume this is Dieth's brow.
Yeah,
not just
Dieth
Jared's
like,
brow.
What's happening here?
She pushes it towards you.
Hesitantly, Dieth actually approaches the bar. Are there stools there to sit? Or, okay.
No, you just pick things up and take them back.
So he stands there, not even looking down at the drink, just eyeing up this woman. Is like, how much is it?
This isn't anything. But when you get a room here, I'll take it out of that.
Oh, well, thank you. Dieth takes up the cup or mug or whatever it is, looks into it, gives the brief smell, quick sip. I imagine it's tasty.
Well, it depends. It depends. I'll tell you what it tastes like.
Sure.
And you tell me.
His reaction? Sure.
Exactly. So you had seen out front, you could see the telltale, the thick trunks of gripping hop vines sort of climbing up and around the inn on the right side.
Yeah.
And this is essentially it almost tastes like a lemon tea, but you can actually see hop cones floating in the water. So it'd be like light, tangy, fruity.
Okay. Dieth likes it.
Fair
It's
enough.
Surprisingly tasty. He was expecting bitterness and hatred. But shockingly, it's like, oh, this is actually quite pleasant.
It's true. Walnut Dongrass. This place is also your home.
I know. Well, he hasn't mentioned anything out of the blue. I just assume he's one of the many tourists that we get in town. There have been a lot more recently. But it's something new to focus on other than this,
the crushing
the
despair.
barren wasteland of, her emotional well-being right now. So she'll just, her ears perk up and she's listening, but not doing anything yet.
All right. Dieth has not noticed Walnut at all?
There is. I wasn't sure if she was still down here. No.
Okay, sure.
But it's possible that she is. Yeah, okay.
Just at one of the tables.
There's a single person at one of the tables. Red leather armor, elf, dark skin, slightly dirty, but not too dirty.
Okay.
Fun dirty.
All right.
She's ready to have some fun.
Well, she probably rides ATVs or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's like a motocross, the Ocho.
Nice.
But on her lapel, you can see an insignia of office, a kind of like a wax seal stamp of Acquisitions Incorporated.
Interesting. With that,
That hated logo.
Yeah, Dieth basically feels like he's deep within the dragon's maw.
Oh yeah.
He's just enemies on all sides.
You can feel that pressure.
Yeah.
Beginning to close in.
Just one slip up and just clamps down. Yeah.
This is great.
So Dieth, still at the bar, looks over to this woman and I guess says, maybe you can help me. You've been already so kind and generous.
This is the woman behind the bar?
Yes. Oh.
She says, Prophet Dran.
Oh. Hello, Propha. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
My name is Dieth.
Hi, Dieth.
Hi, Propha.
Prophetess.
Oh, okay. It's short for okay.
Yes,
I just need a room.
I have those.
I would like one, please.
You may have it.
How much is that?
So per night,
Yeah.
it is 1 silver.
1 silver. Okay. Diaz pulls out a single gold piece that he had retrieved from his job and slides across the table. And just says, "Keep that for now. I'm not sure how long I'll stay, but if I need to give you more."
Absolutely. But she says you're getting a room at the right time. Last Stones Day is coming up on us fast. Are you familiar with the day?
Oh, I've heard of it. I was just here, just finishing up a job. I was gonna rest for a little bit, maybe enjoy the locals, and then
The local locals.
and then make my way back to Waterdeep. That's all.
Absolutely. Well, she says. She says.
I hate your son. Hello. Hi.
She says. How long have you been in Waterdeep?
Oh, you mean recently? Or
Whenever.
I was born there. Sorry, I grew up there. But I had only just recently returned there, just a couple of weeks ago at best.
She says, "Have you ever seen Audra Courtier play?
I have not. No.
Does Dia spend any time at all in houses of music, courtly intrigue, things of this kind?
Of like nobility?
Indeed.
Or no, not at all.
Even in secret?
Not at all. He'll respond saying, "Sorry, the only music that I really listen to even frequently is that of one famous Paulton Seppa, the Bard. Perhaps you've heard of the Drunken Dying Tour. Starting to kick up. Check it out sometime if you got the chance."
My Audra.
Your Ardra.
Oh, Audra's my wife. She is in Waterdeep often to play.
Really? Wow, that's so neat.
And last year, during Last Stones Day, I had to miss it because I went to Waterdeep and I heard her play at court. At court.
That's wonderful.
She says, "Now, I don't know if you are looking for a job, but my son, Omin Dran, is the owner of Acquisitions Incorporated, and I know that he's always on the lookout for young people like yourself, talented, driven."
As she was saying this, Diaz was drinking from the tea, and then so she says, "Alban just."
Freeze.
Do you already know him? Any friend of Omin's is a friend of mine.
Diggin'.
Give him that coin back. He stays free.
Diaz to say, "I actually only know
If
him."
you had said so earlier, Dieth.
Appreciate it. I've only know of him by reputation.
Well, that makes sense.
Of course it does.
It precedes him. It hangs upon him
Yeah.
like a warm cloak.
So
Oh, my niffy. Listen, so if you have never been to Last Stones Day, let me be the first to welcome you. Now, you're not supposed to make them ahead of time, but everybody does, and everybody wants to, and nobody really cares. Dieth, you sit down. You sit down. You sit down.
but-
Sit down. Walnut,
Huh?
keep this young boy company.
Oh.
Walnut.
Okay. Yep. You got it.
All right. So once she has engaged Walnut in this task,
yeah.
she turns back and immediately it sounds like a dwarven smithy in the kitchen. There's just a great banging,
Yeah.
belching heat. Something is happening back there. Something is being birthed. and you don't know what it is.
Okay. Almost not quite intimidated, but Diaz has an air of being just suddenly so unsure about himself and his purpose.
Prophet says, Diaz, you're perfectly safe. You're not her type. And then she goes back in and starts working.
Diaz will then go over and just sit at the table, and just sit right down, just...
Yeah.
Good.
Well, so you're not here for Last Stones Day.
Oh, is it that obvious?
Fairly obvious to the trained eye. What brings you to Red Larch?
I'm just here. I just finished up a job. I was on my way.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm only here. Look, he'll kind of lean in. It's like, I'm actually trying to find Omin Dran.
Well, you just missed him.
What? He was here.
He was here.
Where did he
was here
go?
last night. Through a portal and away.
What? That son of a bitch, just like him.
That son of a what?
Bitch.
No, I'm sorry. Hang on. Wait. No, we were talking about Omin. You know, Omin Dran.
Yes, Ominifus Hereward Dran.
That's him.
Worst kept secret of Waterdeep.
What? What do you mean?
What? So, I mean, it's very well of the Acq Inc.
Yeah.
lapel on there.
Yeah, it shines in the light.
Like in an anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes,
Yep.
The light moves, but you don't. But
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like a Sam Raimi, like the shot of your face, and like impossibly, it's just branded on you, like searing.
you can see it within my own eye reflection.
Yeah.
Like just that, nothing else. Diethar's like, oh, I get it. You work for him.
I do.
So between you and me, and I mean this as earnestly as possible,
Sure.
why?
Because, I mean, listen, I don't know you well enough to get into it.
You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry. I just
Extremely personal question. You just come into town and just ask these deeply invasive things of people?
You're right. I apologize, Walnut. I have nothing against you. You seem like a wonderful person.
Thank you.
I do need help trying to find him.
Okay.
He has something that belongs to.
Dieth, can you? We're gonna continue the rest of the sentence, but I would like a perception check from you.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure this will go great. It usually does. Ooh. Still a 13. Can I use one of my chargy thingies
Yes,
on
of course
it?
you can.
Yeah.
I would love to use one of my
Yay.
chargy things on
Here,
it.
yeah,
Do it.
Use your chargy thing.
Does that
Yeah.
take money away from?
Yeah, exactly. Every
The
time you use the
charity.
charge, money gets just deleted from the charge. No, that's not true. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah, but I need a good roll, so.
Shadow Council and gathered waffle crew throng. Your servant Dieth has offered unto you a boon. Now, we're going to give you away something cool. I have this. It is from Elderwood Academy. It has beautiful tiny dice inside. It has a clip for a key. It's so crazy. And now somebody's going to get it. Thanks a lot, Dieth. Excellent work.
You're welcome.
So you're looking around and you see it.
I have everything.
Exactly. Like you see everything on Earth.
Yeah.
Like you see like the termites inside the wall. You can feel them through the soles of your boot.
Yeah.
And it's like, as you're saying this, you're sort of looking down, you're trying to collect your thoughts. You see something on Walnut's hand and you're like, And then you continue to hold forth and you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, your hand is bare and the ring visible?
It's visible.
Oh, shit.
Shadow Council, may our labors please you. We are going to come back after the break with more Dungeons and Dragons fun with our good friend Dia. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Hello. This is Jeffrey K. Horkins, and you're watching Test C Teams. Now, when last we saw our heroes and indeed our new friend Dieth. Dieth had just determined with a very valuable natural 20 that Walnut Dawn Grass, heir of the Enclave Panax Anima, is literally wearing one of the rings he came into this town to get. But we're going to take the camera and we're going to move it away from that tender moment over here to Cthulhu Straub, who is, you are still hard at work. Tell me where your investigations are leading you.
I was trying to determine.
You have heaps and heaps of books now on very specific topics, specifically a theory of your father's about divinity as a kind of physics, Vistani wedding rituals.
This would be a time to ask a computer to cross-index.
Well, I was just going to say this would be an opportunity for some dancing, like on the screen.
Oh yeah, all those numbers and plots and right. And so I'm trying to figure out whether or not the rings would be tethered to this power, or are they the literal, like three-dimensional shadow of this construct that I'm wearing, and that somebody has taken and carved and like decorated? Because I assume that are they ornate? Like,
not especially.
Okay.
Not especially.
But it's a metal I don't identify, but it is metal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm so excited by these prospects, and I don't know which way to turn, and it's because I am so full of energy that I don't want to be inside, which is a weird feeling, because who doesn't want to be inside a knife all day? There's books, as many books as I want. So I remove the ring, this treasured ring. I put it on the study desk where all the other papers are, because I am aware of this power. I need to tell Walnut about this. I'm going to exit that knife, and maybe get a little sun on my cheeks. I don't know why that seems like a good idea, because I should hate it.
It sounds right,
but it feels good. I think I'm going to do that. So yeah, I exit the door.
You exit the door, retrieve your father's laboratory.
It's got to be a cool name for it.
Blinkety, your blinkety eyes make some adjustments to this new context.
I restore the blindfold, because maybe there's
children.
Could be children downstairs.
just so it's perfectly clear.
There's a festival coming up. You got to be mindful.
Exactly. Just so it's perfectly clear, both to new friends and old. Cthulhu Straub's eyes are not eyes in the classic sense.
Not anymore.
They are what appears to be a almost randomly distributed cluster of gem-like eyes that blink independently.
Yeah.
It's gross.
I'm not saying it's cool.
I think it's great. I'm a huge fan of what these eyes have done for me. So you will hear whistling and somebody descending the stairs. And the whistling keeps stopping intermittently as I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why do I don't whistle. I'm not that guy. I'm going to come down and I see a stranger and you seated at a table.
At this point, I want you to roll an Arcana check.
Ooh, all right. Let's do it. And I'll give it a little extra flavor for $1 more. Okay, that's a 14, I think. Ugh. So that one was that was a 14. It was the
so
highest one.
Imagine that. So you get down to the bottom of the stairs and you see the group of them, and you're like, wait a second. And in your mind, a diagram begins to form that sort of concatenates the concepts that you were working on. I think it's completely the wrong time to have this epiphany.
It's happened though.
And then as you're thinking about it, it just there's a moment where it just loses coherency, and it's just like a cloud of minnows. It just bursts. And now there's all this.
Tables and a restaurant.
Yeah.
Worthless. So what kind of, from just your postures, are you like, is this heated? Is this?
The moment that Dieth saw Evelyn's ring, it was immediate, like, stand up so fast that the chair behind him falls back over. Not in a threatening stance, but just like an, oh my God.
Walnut's freaked out.
Yeah.
Her hand's going for her knife.
Oh, shit.
Like, she's scared.
Yeah.
Dieth,
Sorry. I reacted to that like it was a real thing. Okay.
It is real, and they are real.
This
Thank
is
you.
real.
Finally, someone agrees with
This
me.
is the
over
most
here.
real thing in my life right now.
Thank you. Someone agrees with
yeah.
me. This is great.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah. All right, so you see Dieth like standing up before her.
I see that these stances change, and then not really knowing what the play is, I just go, look out!
Dieth looks around.
Yeah, Walnut looks around.
I mean, hello, everyone.
So in the middle of this, Prophet is too invested in the idea of communicating to the next generation the value of tradition and jam.
Sure.
And so in the middle of this, like, hand on knife, your back is beginning to arch. Kithris is at the base of the stairs thinking about something. She says, all right, now, don't tell anybody. And then she puts a plate down in front of you, Walnut. And she puts a plate down in front of you, Dia. And she says, you snooze, you lose, Kithris.
That's fine. That's always true.
So in the middle of this, so there is this up here, which is anger.
Yeah.
And there is a person there. And you've just met them, but you don't know why they have it. You don't know why they have the ring. And that's a huge problem. But now there's also a hot pastry down here, rolled in powdered sugar. It looks like a brick, like a light, crisp brick. And there's a little bit of jelly beginning to pool around the base of it. And then there's a fork. I'm just offering everybody the information they need so that they can continue to roleplay their scene. Please continue.
All right. Dia standing before you.
Sure.
Clearly tense.
Yeah.
So your ring hand like went away onto the knife?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll almost like kind of put hands up right away, like, oh, no harm. Like not trying to attack you or anything, but he'll still just be like, where did you get that?
This? Oh, it's funny you should ask. This is a gift from Omin.
His hands went from open, just like, oh.
I know. Pretty great.
Yeah. So then eyebrows like furrow, his stare becoming more intense, going from his hand back up to you. It just says, he gave them to you.
Well, he gave one to me and one to my friend here.
Then looks back, snaps back at Kithris and just jaw like slowly descending, just like,
They're for work. Why are we upset? It's the last stone's day. How long was I in that knife, Walnut?
No, not long. It's not time yet.
Okay. Somebody should get me if it's been weeks.
No. No.
So I've heard this, so I'll come over like, what do you mean the rings? They're not important for anyone to know why they have them.
Dieth takes a moment, realizing he's still in a public area, to collect himself and bring his anger back into check. Picks up the chair, sits down, and kind of sits down back before you, but still very in a tense position.
Sure.
Focusing more on Walnut, because he saw the ring on you.
Right.
And I'd imagine he does not see it on Kithris.
No.
Okay. In a lowered, almost growling tone, Dieth will say, those rings are not nothing. Omin Dran stole those from us.
Okay. All right.
They belong not to me, but to a dear friend.
Okay. While I'd love to take you at your word, these were a gift from Omin, who we've gone over is great and who we love, and respect as an employer. And anyway, I'm not just going to give you this ring.
Respect Omin. He's nothing but a thief, a charlatan, who tricked us out of... Sorry.
Friend, I have my own feelings about Omin, but it's probably unwise to say that stuff is Mom's house.
At his mommy's house.
She just baked you what I think is a delicious above ground delicacy. And taste it. No mushroom. Not a single one.
Can I get an Arcana check?
Yes, you can.
Lousy with mushrooms.
That's a additive 20.
Okay. Please continue to ramble, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay.
Not you. You're fine.
Tell me more about the pastry.
Yeah.
What I know of Omin is he's a man of means. I don't imagine that he would have to steal something like this that he would give to valued employees such as
Thank you.
Maliki and myself. But
When you say Maliki,
yeah,
you look down at the two plates, and you can see that in Walnuts, you can see that it is completely contained. There has been no spillage. It hasn't been plated. It is just the square.
right.
Dieth's is the cornerstone, and it has the spill. And in your mind, you begin to propose a question to the universe. In a place where the veil is thin, in a place where gods have walked, would that affect the ability to create this divine vacuum? Would it be easier there to pull them in? So you imagine a model, a conceptual model that represents the prime material plane, the laws of magic and the laws of divinity enmeshed in a single sophisticated geometry. And you wonder, idly, if you were to perform the Vistani wedding ritual with the rings in the grove at Tribor, where Maliki had already manifest, could you create a vacuum that could attract, even imprisoned, the divinity of Malith? When you come to, you are supporting yourself on a chair, breathing hard.
All right, you've witnessed that, and then under my breath, oh, these flaky portents. How do you know about these rings?
They were ours. They were...
Are you a god?
No. What? No.
Are you sure?
Pretty positive. No. No god.
Jury's out. Could be a god. Not sure.
I am not a god.
I don't think he's a god.
Thank you. I'm glad we can agree on something.
Yeah, and this is the only thing.
The rings themselves, they were created back when... Surely you're aware of the death curse. That was... Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I, too, was suffering from the death curse. I was rotting away every moment during my existence. And that death curse was only staved off thanks to one, Evelyn Marthane, paladin of Othander, shining light within this black world.
So you hear a little scribble in your Documancer satchel.
Oh, I immediately checked that out.
Please continue.
All right. And through her own sacrifice of her life, thanks to an ancient, I guess, Vistani ritual, She gave up her life, transferred her soul into 2 rings. Those rings are not just rings of magical protection, nothing so mundane. Those rings have pieces of Evelyn within her. She perished once more. And graciously, thanks to Omin Dran, she was restored to life and then took those rings. So even though her body restored, she is not whole.
So you have this and you're listening to this and you look in the book
Yeah.
and you see the word Evelyn
Yeah.
and then you see it disappear
Yeah.
and then it says, "Dear Evelyn."
Oh no.
And then it gets erased, then it says, "Dearest Evelyn."
Oh no.
And then it gets erased and it says, "My dearest Evelyn." And it gets erased and then it says Evelyn, but over the I is a little heart.
Oh my goodness.
Evelyn spelled wrong.
Yeah, right.
I guess you could use
no I,
the
you
Y to form the.
Can I write back?
You can you can write in there if you want to.
New phone, who dis? No. So I write on it, Omin, question mark?
This is he.
And I say, I write, it appears these rings you gifted us are of some small importance.
And he says, "To who?"
I write,
Don't say DF. Don't say DF.
Dia.
Damn it!
Just HMM.
Okay. And I say, should we return them?
After you make use of them, negotiate their return.
It will be done.
It also says, "Put in a good word for me with Dieth. And I'll be sending you a new documancy ledger without some of the concerns your current one has."
Walnut goes, understood. But is immediately like, I need to tear all the pages out of this one so that I can keep them. We'll deal with that later.
May I frame?
Yes.
As we've returned?
Yeah.
So now you return your attention back, and I've explained some of my, like, why the rings are important, like, in terms of trying to free these deities, which this interloper patron god who has disconnected me from my true patron, how we're trying to actually stop this entity, and an entity responsible for this mess. One gives you a little.
Okay.
But from that, I start going down, and none of which would have been necessary had I not attempted to help Omin Dran.
Right.
And lost my sanity.
Right. Thank you.
Setting me back in my work.
Yes, there's nothing you can do for him that doesn't come with a cost.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't know him very well personally, but it just seems to me you don't treat people like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely not.
you lose your mind, you talk to a god, you think it's the god you want to talk to, turns out, I don't know which one that was. And now I got this whole thing.
You know, I've heard just about enough, Cathris. I know Dieth doesn't fancy Omin, but I expected better from you.
Well, you have to admit, he did knock me down a couple pegs.
Well, maybe you deserved it.
That's true.
Great.
Okay,
I did.
feel like I'm getting
but Dad
something here
Cathris
that-
wouldn't have thought that.
Here,
Cathris!
Josh, can you tip the cauldron, please?
Oh no.
It's okay. So, it is at this moment that you can hear the purposeful weight of Profa Dran approaching the table, and she sets her own plate down, her own cornerstone down roughly with a fork, and as she sits down, she brings a mailed arm around the plate, almost in a defensive, protective measure for the cornerstone. She has a fear that the cornerstone will be eaten by another, and she has provided some protection for the cornerstone. And she says, "What's the problem over here?"
Nothing at all. Just a few disagreements about
Any
ownership.
friend of Omin is a friend of mine, dear. How can I help? How can I help?
These two have rings that belong to a dear friend of mine, as they are a part of her, literal pieces of her, and I only seek their return. No hostility, no animosity. Only, I just want to help make her whole again.
Now, Walnut and Cthulhu,
Yes.
why can't the rings be given back?
Because Omin gave them to me.
That's not a good enough reason.
Because they're a material nexus for all of existence by which I may free gods who should not have been consumed by the vile one that marked me.
What?
And that's both rings, not just one of them. I suspect there may be more, as far as I know. How hurt was this friend of yours? How many rings did she disintegrate into?
Only two.
Okay, I was wrong.
Only the two. You need both to save gods?
If my calculations are correct, we would attempt a ritual, after which you would be welcome to have them. I have no attachment to them. I kind of don't like the way I feel wearing them.
Okay.
Propha says, Cthulhu, Walnut, what can you give Dieth in the meantime that is of value
Dieth almost
with the promise that these rings will be returned?
Value.
Being an adult is very difficult, isn't it?
I look at Cthulhu and I go, you have things of value. You keep all of our things of value.
That's true.
Dieth almost interrupts and just says, like, I don't need things. I just need Evelyn back, or at the very least, your word, Cthulhu. I believe you in everything you're saying. And if these pieces could help free gods, there is nothing that Evelyn would want more.
Oh, friend.
Even Omin would understand that.
I appreciate that very much, but you don't know me and have no reason to believe me or her for that matter, or any of this. Therefore,
Prophet says you're not selling this, Cthulhu. You need to. Let's go back. Let's go back 10 seconds. You felt okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Josh.
Divine intervention.
All right, are we good?
oh,
Are we good?
Yeah.
well, I was merely, you were saying that there should be some collateral.
We're good. And then she stands up, brings her plate, and then finishes it on her elbows on the bar.
So, and I
This is the greatest game of all time. I don't mean like what we're doing right now. I mean this fucking game.
Yeah. It is.
This is crazy.
I get out my horde's-person bag.
Oh, one moment.
Oh.
For our gathered friends from the Waffle Crew and our new friend, of course, Dieth, in Acquisitions Incorporated, specific jobs have specific tools associated with them. So a documancer has basically like a mystical means of filling out documentation and communicating. A hordes person has something like a combination of like a mimic and a bag of holding. So it's like a creature that has one belly but a bunch of mouths that they can wear. So there's a central location that the belly is.
Gross. Okay.
It's as gross as it sounds. Please continue.
These rings, I think, could be the key to freeing Malith.
Then we can't give them up. Not yet.
Not yet. Not until we perform the ritual. But in their stead, how much? And so,
Yeah, exactly.
how much are we on the hook to return to the main office? Because I can just hand you 653 gold pieces, which are yours to hold on to as trust that we will return the rings.
I suppose.
It's done. 653 of them clattering on the tail.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they are everywhere. Like they're rolling. Like one has rolled into a crack. One has rolled back into the mouse hole.
So 651 gold pieces.
No, three.
Onyx,
There should be three.
Onyx is chasing one,
No.
batting one back and forth.
At 200 silver.
Whoa.
I think the 200 silver. I think we grave robbed that from my dying house in the Underdark.
You're right. Launder that.
Yeah, get that one clean. Get that one cleaned up.
I mean, hopefully, I don't know where you hail from. You seem to be a man of culture and refinement, but hopefully this is enough to show you our serious intent.
Dieth sees the money and actually responds by saying, there are more pieces of Evelyn that need to be restored. And I think this alone could help with that. I didn't even have a plan for that part, but I think this alone could really
I mean,
help with
we
it.
use the rings, but then we give you those, and then I get this part back. It's not a rental.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, if we should lose the rings, you're welcome to enjoy that coin, which, as the Acq Inc. Hordes person, I can say has no meaning to me. Should, but again, a miscalculation on the part of the organization.
Only collateral, and I understand that. And you have my word that every single one of these pieces will be returned in good faith.
Right, write that down on your character sheet.
Yep.
Because Chris Perkins is gonna fuck me with that, and I know it.
He's gonna fuck me with that.
No, it's gonna be everybody's getting
Is
fucked.
he
here, man.
like, oop, there's a hole in your bag?
And I say, I don't trust you, but this is the bargain I've struck. I have no way of knowing.
Dieth has nothing of himself that he can actually offer back as like counter collateral in that. Almost like kind of patting himself down and be like, is there anything I could possibly... I got a vial of sticky poison.
Yeah, like he forgot his wallet. It's like, oh.
Yeah. He doesn't carry one.
Yeah.
Never had a need for it.
I have poison in more places than I need it. It's no worry.
All right. Well, if there's any way that, should you do this ritual and it's successful and it works and a piece of Evelyn can help you and help this plane of existence, free gods, just let me know and I will return in good faith. And honestly, it's refreshing to meet Acquisitions Incorporated employees as well as noble as you are.
As what?
Yeah, we're kind of taken aback by that.
Dieth will even say, do you guys like live here or is this place important to you?
Yeah. Red Lodge is extremely important to us.
Great.
I'm ambivalent.
How about this as a piece of collateral? I have information. I believe information of import.
You can come back to this show like anytime, like just anytime you want to. Just come back.
Give me the word, my dude.
Just come back. Please continue.
I don't know if this place is frequently in danger from strangers or even possibly people who actually live here, but does the name Galabranth mean anything to either of you?
Calibran. No.
With a G?
No. Is that a surname or a
That was his first name.
pet? What kind of a...
First name, Merchant. I came in with him. I was providing just simple protection for him along the roads. Thankfully, nothing happened because I probably would have gotten docked pay. But he had arrived here claiming only bringing stoves and cooking supplies. did not even at any point say that these stoves are going to be filled with 60 daggers.
Oh.
Where were these stoves delivered?
Do I know where
You
they
know
delivered?
exactly
Okay,
where.
I tell them.
Yeah, it's like maybe 2 blocks from here.
Yeah, like those buildings back towards the entrance.
Do we know the place, or this is like being? It's
Absolutely. Oh yeah, it's you know exactly where he's describing. It's right up on the main road. There's a sort of a grassy section in the center of that. It's one of those sort of like almost like a triangle, like a pie-shaped block. It's literally on the other side of the curve from Red Larch. Except it's on the part of that curve that faces the long road. They were jailhouses, but they had been purchased relatively recently. No one knew who had bought them, but they had been purchased and were being renovated. And because that the facing on the long road, that's a very limited real estate here, and especially with some of the bumps in local population, and certainly with Last Stone's Day coming up, like there's definitely some value out there, and it's probably better as something else than a jailhouse.
Are we concerned that? So there's stoves delivered before.
Carrying contraband or something. I'm not one to meddle, and this is not a business of my own. However, I am very keen to danger or when something is off.
So are these not then maybe the type of utensil you'd use to cut open a delicious cornerstone?
No, this would only be used to cut open lives.
But could you also use it to eat with?
Like most blades, yes.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
that's fair.
Maybe they just got the wrong shipment.
No.
Then they wouldn't be hidden inside a stove and intentionally concealed from the rest of us.
Are we at all worried that there is like
Skithris, we're worried.
is there some sort of a Last Stone's Day fly-by-night fire festival scenario where
With Ja Rule?
I think so.
where people will go and feast and then be slaughtered?
And then the purge happens where they all get knives.
Yes.
I'm concerned that someone's smuggling weapons into the town. Absolutely.
Oh, that's right. There's a festival happening.
There is a festival, and the establishment that we're currently at really does its business on Last Stone's Day. But anyone smuggling weapons in at all is frustrating.
This is high value. I enjoy this plain conversation. When I determined the nature of these rings, I was worried that I would have to employ some of my artistry as an actor.
Oh,
Pause to see if there's
nothing.
no.
She gives you nothing.
Okay, and but this is so much simpler. How long ago was this? You just arrived?
Maybe an hour ago at best. Literally just arrived. They could still be around. I could even find the wagons themselves and point them out to you.
We should go.
You want to go mess someone up? Just us?
Yeah.
I can accompany you.
Absolutely, you can.
Where are Donaar and Rosie?
Donaar is the process that he uses to sharpen toothbrush, and now his the new blade from Sorsha. You have never seen it. It's like an elephant graveyard type thing. The care that he takes with these weapons it's a completely solitary process. It's like a meditative process.
Okay.
Rosie is currently attending a wedding for one of her children.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. We don't need them. It's just 60 knives.
Yeah.
They don't have 60 people.
Even better.
Great.
Actually, when I took that job for Gallibrand,
For Galabrath Welver.
yes, how many of his actual company, not the mercenaries he hired, how many people were there?
Yeah, so outside of the mercenaries that sort of kept to themselves separate from his
Yeah,
initial cadre,
his underlings and
he
himself.
has 3 with him that never left his side.
Okay, yeah, I say there's Galbrand, 3 others, best. I can't imagine the mercenaries themselves are still loyal. They seem to collect their coin and then fucked off.
Easy.
15 knives apiece. We gotta watch out.
We're doing
Some tough customers.
serious math knife.
Just an armor of knives.
Yeah, let's just go. Take us there.
I'll show you. And Diaz will get up and immediately show him as quickly as possible. Do you want to take like the back streets? Kind of sneak your way there?
You're going there in broad day?
It's been raining.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah.
We should go.
Do you know of like a back way to get to the southern road entrance?
Definitely. It's something you guys. Red Larch is not large.
Right.
You know, you'd have to chase a squirrel or something like things like this happen. There is an area of greenery, just behind it. It's all actually really on the map, which is the best part. Like I'm getting more use out of this fucking Red Larch map than anything else on Earth. So there is a little greenery, like a copse there.
Perfect.
That you can that you could leverage to examine the space.
So then almost naturally, without even this is the first time ever here, Diaz is able to easily lead you to this a place that we can kind of sneak up on and at least observe and try to find where these wagons were.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you find yourself, it's a rainy day, and also there's the fact of the matter is that Walnut and Cthulhu, you live here. I mean, you've lived here for more than a year now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're citizens of the town. No one looks twice. Wherever you would go in this town. And Diaz is with you, so he gets sort of a pass. These in this area, this treed area, if you will, you can look from here at the back of the buildings that you were seeing renovated up front. So the backs have definitely not received the same level of affection. One thing that you do find highly noteworthy, as I said, the second building isn't getting the Disneyland treatment. The odd thing about it is you're not afraid of a lockpick.
No.
You see a door on the left that sends a thrill of excitement through your tendons.
Okay.
Like, the door might be worth what the building's worth.
Damn.
Like the investment that was made in this building is purely to do with its access point in the back.
All right. Diaz will point out this door of this building and just say, I can get us in there.
Nice.
Great. Please do. I'd love to see this.
Great.
This door would be like, imagine that there was a door museum, but every quarter or so, they have a special exhibit.
A limited time exhibit. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
It's like 1 month only. It's like, this is the sort of door that would be like that.
Okay. Diaz gives just a hand signal, just be like, wait here, and he'll very, very swiftly, crouched in stealth, make his way up to that door, using the sounds of the rain to cover his footsteps through the mud and the grass, and keeping an eye out for any possible passerbys as he sneaks his way up to this door.
I love it. But we like stealth. We're not really a stealth game, and so nobody ever gets to roll stealth. Let's see it.
Oh, please don't be embarrassing.
I know.
18.
You're fine.
Is there a 4 on there?
Yes, it is.
Jeez.
Chose my rogue expertise very carefully.
This is pro tier. This is pro tier. This is a character that's designed to survive,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. All right, so I'm at this door.
No, you get up to it, and it's like, this is a door you can see yourself with.
I could live here.
Long term.
Yeah.
And your finger just plays over the plate.
Yeah. And I'm feeling to myself, I would pick this door again.
Oh no, you would. It's like you want to lock it just so you can pick it a second time.
Did it say Percival's?
Percival's.
Okay.
I'm glad Donaar's not here.
All right. So So then right away, Thieves' Tools out.
Yeah.
Dieth gets right into that lock and starts trying to pick it.
Oh, you know he gets into that lock. Yeah. Let's see what we got.
All right, this is exciting.
Oh, jeez.
37.
This is ridiculous.
Where's this number on?
No, it's like this
18.
is what it is. It's like
God.
you know the disappointment of the boudoir.
I thought this was going to be a hard lock.
In a moment, it's all done.
My fingers like twirl with the tools as if I was casting a spell. They're just so nimble in using these lock picks.
Yeah, and it's just the door can't wait to let you in.
Let me inside you, girl.
Yeah. So it's just creep.
Yeah, and as soon as that's open, Dieth turns back to Cthulhu and Walnut and just kind of gives up.
We have to, have to stifle, like I'm about to applaud.
We're about to
This
golf
is a
clap.
mistake. Yeah.
Okay. No. So you can get right to the back of this thing from the wood, from these trees in the central courtyard. You can slide right up in the front. I mean, there's still people working and pounding out front, but that work is not happening on the back of the
Those sounds are not coming from inside. All right, great.
No. It's they are working frenziedly to get that facade ready for prime time.
All right.
It's a limited time opportunity to wring this town out.
Okay.
So you find your way in the back, and you had heard from multiple sources that these buildings were jailhouses for another era, a wilder era of the city. And
another bizarre reason for a back door.
yeah, exactly. It's new. That is all new back there. And when you get in, that's proven quite true. You see cells, and inside these cells, which are individually locked, you can see crates and boxes of various kinds. Some of them wrapped in gleaming oilcloth. It's like a warehouse, but it's like a nice warehouse where it's like if you were an upmarket wealthy crate, this would be where you would go.
So still a lot of cells, like with the bars and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Except right now they are using them as a second level of protection for the contents.
With that being revealed as the door opens, as we see this, for the first time, you see Dieth's composure just crack a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the hallway itself is lit by a perpetual sulfurous green flame, and you can see just the light of those flames sort of just playing on the fine fittings on some of these crates. And in fact, here right in the center, there are a couple boxes perhaps that were recently brought in addition to one of the stove pieces you had seen before.
Oh, I recognize this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just beyond that, there's more stuff, but interact as you will.
Excellent.
I'm going to leverage my ghostly gaze so I can pierce through without the need of a lockpick.
You're what?
I'm going to see through you and everything in this room. Everything. I can see it all.
Oh, neat.
It's disturbing.
So yeah, let me.
So let's flavor that though. Like what is it? What is it when he uses this vision?
You will.
How does that pertain to others? What changes about their perception?
That's
like what does it look like?
That's super interesting.
Is it like another set?
Well, yeah. Like I'm thinking that it would be
like those two-way beads.
Beads.
Well, yeah. Like
it's sequins.
Sequins.
Oh.
Where it's just sort of like.
Yeah, I think so. Like, but there's truth here. Like I'm looking through things rather than just this facade.
Yeah.
And even though it's just more facade that's deeper down, I'm comforted by that.
It's the inner facade.
Yeah, the counts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and this is up to 30 feet. I can perceive.
You see daggers, short swords, bows without strings. You see something that you've heard called a naked wand, which is, don't get crazy. It's basically the wand before enchantment.
Oh, I see.
So it's made from the proper wood, proper cores, but it simply hasn't had the last phase performed on it.
Just like an
It's an
dealership
arsenal.
in this room.
It's an arsenal, and so you're looking around, and as your gaze passes beyond the middle, inside the stove, you can see a number of knives in sheaths, and then just beyond that, you see what looks like a pile of shields and barrels, but there's a complexity there that isn't parsing is surprising to you.
I can't just easily see through it. It's like I'm just still
Oh
seeing.
no, you can see it, but it's a lot. It's comically complex.
Oh, I see. It's like an X-ray of a.
Yeah. No,
and then just all these
it's more like
layers
it's
of
more
it.
like a blueprint, extraction.
Yeah,
like an
it's just
explosion of
assuming.
a geometry.
Okay, I'll point that out and say that there's a object in the corner there that's way more complicated than a shut box that most of these are.
All right. So down this hall, do we see another entrance or other possible exits?
No, this one. In fact, you think it might have had an entrance at one point. It has been replaced by a new wall.
This is the only one. That's weird.
Could be a health code violation or something.
Right, we got him by the book.
Has to be. All right, Cthulhu, show me where that box is. Walnut, close the back door. Keep an ear out. Listen for anything. Look around for stove pieces or anything else that looks similar to see if we can concretely say that this man brought these weapons in here.
Okay, I'm telling you everything that's like a half an inch beyond what we're looking at with normal vision is a weapon. This whole room.
Everywhere.
In fact, if we were on the roof looking down, I think the building would be a huge gun. I'm very worried.
Oh, better idea. Walnut, see if you can retrieve one and see if it's like counterfeit or something. This is supposed to be a peaceful festival, yes?
As far as I know, we've only been to one, but I think so.
I don't know, there has to be a reason all these weapons are here. See what you can find. And then through Cthulhu's direction, I'll make my way to the strange
Absolutely.
container.
So as you approach it and look close, you can see that it looks like a heap of shields, and like trunk, like heavy barrels, and there's more armor. You can see in sort of in the center, like set on one of the barrels, looks to be a helm, like a massive helm with a beautiful red plume. As you get up close to it and examine it, the shield lifts up, and then you can see an arm and a fist unfold from beneath it, and it swings from the ground up directly at your head.
It punches me? The shield is punching me?
It does.
What? Okay.
You take 15 points of damage.
Do I get an armor class thing? Or?
This hits your armor class.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can see it. That's
Yeah.
cool. All right, so even with that, Dieth has a second sense to danger, and as it's coming in, uncanny dodge.
I love it.
All right, so I'll take half damage from that, so 8, and I'll just get socked right in the face and reel back
Exactly.
from it.
You just move by, like you ride it, like you just
Yeah.
get a hold of it and just let it absorb the thing. And so at that, it continues to gain mass, and this pile of armaments and shields is something that is here explicitly to protect these things.
Oh.
So I need initiative rolls.
Oh, goodness. Alrighty.
My favorite number.
Oh, you got your favorite
It's gonna be
number.
a 7.
You get a 4?
Yeah.
I got a 13.
I got 12.
Wow. All right. So this thing is
Yeah, explain to me.
it's just moving smoothly on its on what goes for its hip. It is just sort of gliding in the middle and moving through the place, just assessing in mechanical calm the targets that it has been blessed with.
How big is it?
It goes up to the ceiling.
How tall is the
Jeez.
ceiling? Are they tall? Is this like
Medium, large creature?
Yeah. This is a large construct.
Large construct.
okay?
Construct.
So he is almost like it's like the plume is brushing the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go ahead and get real startled about it.
Ah!
Yeah.
Roll around.
And just seeing that, and I'll cast Moonbeam.
Well, it's a great beam.
Yeah. And I'll cast it at the higher level to get the extra D10.
The extra goose.
Yes. And he gets to do a save, but it doesn't tell me what save he gets to do. So your dealer's choice.
Against your spell?
Yeah, it's against 15.
Yeah.
So just do one.
No.
Perfect. Love
Ooh, beam
it.
it.
16 plus 6.
Damn, kid.
All right.
22?
22.
I like what I'm seeing. Nice. Good God.
Yes.
Okay, so the silver light shines down like this holy light has found every crack in this structure, and so these dappled slices of power are coming down through the floor itself, and if anything, it's burnished this creature's metal. Like it's gleaming off of the edges, and the damage that it's done has only served to make it more imposing somehow.
Oh no.
In the silver light,
Wow.
it is as though it's at home. That was just for her benefit.
Yeah.
Right.
Donaar, what's in? That's not you. Here, you are going to be Lagoti. Dieth,
Yes.
you are standing in front of something that is very, very tall.
Yeah, it just
and
got
very,
socked
very
in the face.
mad.
All right, so there's plenty of containers, crates, and barrels and things nearby.
Yeah, here in the center, just behind you, there is a crate, and then right behind that is the stove you saw before.
Yep.
Other than that, this area is lined on each side by cells.
Great. So from where Dieth is, large construct in front of him,
Yeah.
he'll actually hop back onto one of the barrels behind him, withdrawing his short sword Gutter, and then leaps from that and tries to like grab onto the construct from like the shoulder, back area, whatever, to get into a point where you can just stab this weird mass in between the equipment, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna feast. I'm gonna crave on an acrobatics roll.
Yeah.
To do this, because if you're trying to get around to the back, it's gonna take some doing.
That's 21.
That's fine.
Yeah. And get up around that,
some doing.
and then try to
So this is like a jump up, grab the pauldron, get around
get
behind, and
onto
so
it,
it's
just-
like even as you're doing it, it's like moving its arm up, like to catch you in midair, but
Yeah.
you're just over the edge of it. A couple quick steps on the forearm,
Yep.
And you're there.
Yeah, and then it's a, I guess it'll just be a standard attack roll for this. I can't sneak attack constructs or anything like that, so it's just a.
They
attack.
don't like it. Yeah.
Just an attack.
Pa!
Can I keep this D20?
Yes.
My God.
Yeah. Ryan won't miss it.
Yeah, 28.
It's a monster. Yep, that'll hit.
All right. And then 8 points of damage.
Nice.
And then Dieth will just kind of hold on to that.
Basically, just you're always
Yeah,
ready.
I'm just like there on him, so that if anything else, he's like reaching at me and not, from what I can mostly tell, the generally unarmored Crithris.
Yeah,
Well, except for his ring of protection, of course.
I took it off. I took it off.
Yeah.
I don't have it on.
Well, that's true. It's upstairs.
So
Cthulhustraub, you are standing in front of an insensate automaton that knows only to destroy the interloper. That is the law and the whole of the law.
I respect a thing that knows its purpose. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm wondering if I can, not on my turn, but just because I'm still able to see through this thing,
Absolutely.
can I offer that information
I love it.
and tell you where to put the sword?
Listen to this. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Yeah. So because that would be the challenge, right?
Yeah.
Is that a construct doesn't have anatomy.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't
what
have.
if it could be provided by your friend Cthulhu?
I love it.
Yeah. So
What would you
maybe-
say to that dungeon master?
No, I think it's okay, but I do want to hear how you communicate that, because it's sort of a sophisticated idea. Give me a little RP. Tell me how Cthulhu constructs this.
So I see you. I see that blade plunge in,
Mm-hmm.
and then do whatever damage that it does.
Well, and you can see it. And in fact, you can see straight through. You didn't turn it off. It's just how you see now. You're okay with it, right?
Yeah.
So this sword is right in, and you can see that it is stuck right between two sets of meshed gears and a tightly coiled spring.
Yeah.
So he has found the single place in this quadrant of the creature where he has not made a mess of its insides.
Yeah. So then, yeah, what I would say to you is like, yeah, based on where he is, like you're 3 inches from its mainspring. Like try again a little higher.
Higher up.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, Diaz pulls sword out, and then that way upon his next turn, he can try to get another stab into there.
I love it. The entity balls up one fist, the left fist, and then just tries to bring it up and down onto Cthulhu.
Oh no.
Ooh, all right.
Oh no, he doesn't do it. The fist comes down and flattens the stove. And then when the fist comes back up, it is just a porcupine.
Yeah.
It's a shrapnel
daggers
of daggers.
and blades.
Yeah.
Great.
And I didn't move because I forgot that it is material and I'm material because I'm seeing through everything.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's like a hologram.
so
jeez. Okay.
it throws its right arm up, and then it does something that a living creature would find very difficult, which is its elbow spins completely around,
Oh, good.
and then it reaches directly back to grab you.
Great.
And you're 17 AC?
Yes.
He goes back and he just starts to like pat.
Yeah.
Pat.
So from where I'm at,
It's too early for
basically-
congratulations.
Yeah, from where I like twist out from my body, so he's like hitting like this space here right above my arm, as I'm like basically like dangling from there until he's done, and I pull myself back up and around and get that short sword. ready.
Nice. We're gonna play the Colossus. We're gonna do the whole Colossus game end to end
Yeah,
right here
right
in
now.
the game.
All right.
Walnut Dawngrass. It's your turn.
Seeing this thing
You
start
still
to,
got that moonbeam going, right?
I still got that moonbeam going.
I know. It's good.
All right,
Great
I'll
beam.
just do that. I'll continue to wail on him, but good. Let's
So this
see.
time he does save
He does?
on this one, yeah.
So he takes half this time. 15.
Damn.
Nice.
25.
Damn.
Once you get off that first coat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do some damage.
Exactly.
Just peel away the armor so I can
Gonna go to work.
So it's easier to stab. Yeah.
Diaz Woodrow.
Yes.
It's your turn. You have been given some very novel information from your friend Cthulhu.
Yes. It is very foreign to Diaz having this kind of combat feedback from an ally before.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So then, because he sees where his previous puncture was, and then as precise as you can, according to Cthulhu, just a few inches above that, goes right in.
Give it to me.
And you know what? I'm going to use one of my charges to juice this
should.
up.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure this gets
Goose
in
it.
there. Yeah.
Goose it.
That's a 27.
Already very good.
We like it.
Hey.
There it is. There's the Diaz Woodrow now.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
why we used a charge.
Yeah, but that was the second one.
Yes.
So you rolled a million, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
26.
That's great.
So that said, are you allowing sneak attack damage?
I am. It's going to require each time you make damage to an
that
internal,
wad?
it's going to require a second scan from Cthulhu. But yes.
Okay, all right, I like it. So this is the one sneak attack.
Okay.
Good God.
What the heck
All
is
right,
this?
that is 9,
math?
13, 16, 17, 19, 24.
Wow.
And so he gets it in there and gives a good shove to kind of make sure he's getting those springs and gears and things that you were describing.
Living or construct, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I have to do math. Okay. All right. I got it. Jesus Christ, dude. All right. We don't. This is not how it works on my show. We don't roll fucking handfuls of dice at people. It's rude. You're like, God, I know that he told me this. I know this is exactly where he should do it. And then it's just like an inch off. And right on the tip of the blade, it catches something that was moving inside. And then you hear a sound like an animal growl, reverberating through the full body of the creature, and you see the right arm just begin to shake like this.
Oh, all right.
So I need from you. I need like a climbing.
So athletics to hold on? Sure. Not great at that. One of my weak points, 2.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. It flings you off,
Okay.
and Gutter is stuck in the back of this.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
So it's the right arm is just
Yeah, it just
It's just-
shakes me off and I lose my grip. And
exactly. So the right arm of this thing is just moving back and forth.
you want me taking fall damage or do I land like a cat?
You're not that. It's not that high.
All right, cool.
Cthulhu Straub. So you can see it work. You can see inside. You can see a heavy coiled spring just burst into ribbon. God, in the interior cavity of the entity.
You know what? I've never. Is this even the right time to do it? Because I'd be shredded. But I'm curious if I can see it. Can I Misty step into it? I'm not going to do that.
Could if you wanted.
But that's because
I would allow that because it's great.
I haven't been able to see through things
Very long.
Yeah, not for very long, and I'm just so excited.
Oh, this is a new ability of yours.
It's pretty recent.
Okay.
Yeah. God, maybe I have to do that. How would it work?
You would use Misty Step as your movement action. And
But
you
then
would
my
go-
body would be the melee weapon.
Would you fit inside the thing?
I would be destroyed.
Yeah, why?
It sounds like you have your answer.
Because I'm just so excited about
just-
the idea.
I would be Julienne
Sure.
Yeah.
by RoboGuts.
See ya. I'm so excited about. Oh, here's the other question though. How does wisdom save work for a construct? Like, could I use hypnotic pattern on it? Would it notice? Would it care?
I don't think it would work.
I don't think it would. Okay.
But also the other thing is that if we want to continue to assess internals and continue to offer sneak attack damage
Yeah.
to our boy here, that you need to find a new interior weakness.
I see.
Oh, like a different component to hit. Gotcha.
Exactly. This is the Legend of Zelda school of boss fights.
There's only 3.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Is there?
No, you're not wrong.
So the arm has broken, right?
It- well,
I mean, something
it's-
internal is broken,
Something is fucked up with it. You think it would probably still hurt real bad.
right? But I'm saying there's no like, oh, I can see through here. There's a hole here, or anything.
Oh
like
no, that you think that arm is probably off the menu.
No, I'm saying, is there a physical hole that I could shoot an eldritch blast into, or something like that?
Oh yeah, you could definitely just attack this creature. Absolutely.
Oh, well, yeah. I just want to find the best one because my best one is again a psychic attack, and, and it's worthless. So what we're going to do instead is let's do a classic Hunger of Hadar because I'm sure it doesn't like cold. So it's got to do a Dex save. I don't imagine it will succeed.
No, its dex is no the best. Nope, that's trash.
I'm going to look up what the damage is because it's not on my sheet because it doesn't hit. Okay, so
Dungeons and Dragons, everybody.
one moment, please. Okay,
Hungry Hadar.
as far as I can get it away from us, 20-foot radius.
This is your tendrils.
The tendrils, that space on the floor is going to open up, and it's going to just turn pitch black, and those milky tentacles are going to rise up and just start to, almost as though they sense it,
Yeah,
sort of beat it about the legs.
exactly. And so you're doing this in a way that does not engulf your new friend, I assume.
I am trying my best. Yeah.
He's still freaked out by the.
Oh yeah.
little-
Oh
You
no
should
no.
be.
Yeah.
And so it's constant. You're looking at the damage.
Yeah.
Okay. It's constant all out war. It's like a microcosm of
It'll be.
alien anger.
Yeah. It's so difficult terrain, and it's going to have to. The damage will have to because it ends its turn. It's different if it's damage.
Yeah.
The damage is different than if it begins its turn. Yeah.
Okay. So now it's hard, and he's gonna have a hard time getting out of that space.
Yeah.
So right at your feet,
Yeah.
you can see these you can see these milky, sightless tentacles just moving in a completely alien fashion, just right basically at your feet.
I'd take a step back from it, just almost instinctively, just ugh.
Yeah, it's revolting.
Yeah, until I realize like it's Cthulhu himself kind of manifesting these.
You're gonna love them. Yeah.
Okay, the beggar. So he starts his turn. What does it look like there?
He's gonna take a 2d6 cold, which is a gentle piece of damage. But let's try it anyway. It's gonna be 6.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right.
We like it.
And it's really cold.
Oh, and it gets burr cold. So he takes his left hand, reaches over, gets his arm, and pulls it off,
Oh, he's got a club.
and swings it down at Cthulhu.
Oh, I'm still standing.
Dude, he hates you.
He does. He really does hate Cthulhu.
Well, this time, though, I'm gonna react with my Misty Step. Since I can do that.
And a hate?
Oh, yeah. I forget how it works because I never used it like that either. Sorry about that, everybody. How does it work? I'm also okay with being crushed.
Yeah. I was going to say, here, you know what?
Yeah.
Here's the new rule.
No, I teleport. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's simple.
You can teleport as a reaction to a melee attack?
Well, okay. Casting time 1 bonus action.
No, that's on your,
I thought
that's
I
on
could
your
use it
turn.
Yeah,
as a
bonus is
reaction.
on your turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So you
still
can
need
Misty
the
Step on your turn.
Exactly.
Then move,
I
then
see.
cast.
You
So like I
investigate-
could do the damage and then exit.
Exactly.
All right.
You investigate these things,
No,
write them down.
I stand here.
and then we'll use them next time.
You take it like a champ.
As the fist
Exactly.
comes down, I realize I forgot to move again.
Yeah, 13 points of damage.
Just another, oh!
It's just the writhing hand still twitching at the end.
It's a vibro sword.
He brings it down and then smashes Chris with it, or smashes Cthulhu with it, and then leaves it. And then
Ooh.
Oh.
twists,
Oh.
facing from over here, twists around to the other side and brings his fist down on Diaz.
Okay.
No, he doesn't.
All right. Yeah, I dodged that.
No. Yeah, he brings it was just like right by you. It's like you're scooting away from the writhing tendrils,
Yeah.
and he goes like this.
Yeah,
and
that's cute.
writhing tendrils creep up and begin to seal themselves around the hand. And he's trying to pull his fist up out of the
Oh, yeah.
I baited it. Got it.
terrain.
Ready.
Walnut Doggrass.
I have a question. Are constructs not objects?
Yeah, okay. All right, I like this. You are very, very much my protege in this sort of thing. How can this universe be of assistance to you, Walnut Doggrass?
So Walnut, after seeing Cthulhu get smashed, is looking up at this thing and is just feeling so hopeless. And so she grabs Foremother and transforms into a tree ant.
Oh, no.
Into her tree form. And she gets big. She gets large.
She gets as big as it.
She gets big as it.
She gets large.
She gets large, size large.
And the great thing about this is that I get 2 slam attacks.
You do. You get 2 slam attacks.
With a +6 to hit. Oh no, that was just a 10. I'm gonna take advantage. Oh, it was a 16. I didn't need it,
That's the one.
but I wonder what it would have been. Crummy. All right, so 1 hit.
Okay. So you took advantage on that?
I took advantage on it.
Okay.
So take that away from me. A 9 and a 2. So that's 11 plus 3 is 14. But if it's an object or a structure, it would take double damage. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, no, this is exactly
Just a massive
this is
tree
why I
punch.
made this is why I made this thing. And it doesn't look so. You see on the other side of this thing. So it's brought this fist down.
Yeah.
And it's trying to get this out of this like dark butter. It's like trying to pull its fist out of this thing, and you can hear the servos
gack.
just whining inside there. And then you see on the other side of the entity, you see as unlikely a sight as you can imagine.
Yeah.
A forest grow in the darkness of this place, and just a thick swing from one of its branches knocks the top of it off, and it falls over on you.
Whoop.
And you are in the tiny place between its head and its left shoulder.
Yeah. Dieth is very taken aback by this, as he is not used to seeing abilities or spells like this at all.
Absolutely. And
Where's that Grove Keeper now?
from
Let's see
the
that.
from the helmet,
Yes.
breathing out, you can see there is a mist of a sickening color, somewhere between yellow and green, like a bile, poisonous color. And as soon as it comes in contact with your skin, and you take a breath of it, it is, you know that you are engaging with something that is just inimical to life.
Oh. Cool.
All right. That is 13 points of damage.
Ugh.
You know that you have to leave this place. Like, it's a fight or flight.
Oh, this is a
Response.
noxious gas going to fill this place. All right. Great. Are we out of initiative?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So with that, Dieth, putting a sleeve over his mouth, will just shout out this whole place is going to fume up. Leave now, or we'll die. back out.
I go over to, in my big form, take the club off of you and turn back into myself and help you out.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
so yeah.
I was going to say, we're going to mage hand your trapped sword. Did you grab it?
I hadn't yet. I haven't moved yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
grab
if
it.
you want to mage hand it so it pulls it out and in midair, I'll use my cunning action to use my bonus action to dash. So just super fast. And as I'm running through, I grab that floating sword thanks to your mage hand and immediately sheath it as I make my way back out that
Yeah,
door.
you're able to,
Yeah.
with it fall down, disconnected from the rest of those internals, you're able to yank that thing back out.
Cool.
You snatch it
Yeah.
backward, the cool way.
Yeah. It's super cool.
Exactly.
Way cool.
On your way out, you burst from that back door,
Yep.
make your way through the trees.
Or we close the door behind us to make sure the gas doesn't get out and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you go out there, mage hand maybe.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
other one,
Shut that
Shut it
door.
down.
Yeah.
Shut the door behind you. And then as you're making your way out through that forest, it's even darker outside than it was before. The rain has intensified. And between the buildings, you can see the silhouette of a figure watching the party leave. Shadow Council and gathered Waffle Crew fam. This has been the CTEAM. This is the type of shit we get up to here. I want to thank Dieth so much for coming and hanging out.
Oh my God.
We're going to have a truncated
Thank you guys.
table talk. I just wanted to make sure we got through
Yeah.
a cool fight where everybody had a chance to get together. But like I say, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.